We are a free service for students. Anyone who's enrolled is able to use our services, and we're here to help students resolve any personal, emotional, or mental health problems that may be interfering with their academic concerns.
We're located in the College Park office building, which is on kind of the north part of campus across from the tennis courts. And we offer all kinds of mental health services for students. Individual counseling, group counseling, couples counseling, a lot of workshops and education across campus. And so we have a wide variety of things that might be helpful to students.
We have licensed psychologists, social workers, we have folks who are in training to become counselors and psychologists as well. So you have a variety of people to choose from. Students get started generally through our walk-in services, which are every afternoon, 1:30 to 4.
When the student comes in, we ask them to bring their ID. We need to identify that they are a BGSU student. And also we ask the students to fill out some general information, and then the student will meet with a counselor for maybe even just about a half an hour that first time to find out what's going on, and then to make some recommendations about what might be helpful. We might recommend individual counseling, we might recommend group counseling. We have some stress clinics, some workshops. We might recommend that they go to the Learning Commons or some other resource on campus. So that first meeting is just to get a general idea about what's going on.
Individual counseling is a really important part of our services. When you get connected up for individual counseling, you meet with the same therapist. You and your therapist decide how often you need to meet and how many times total.
One of the biggest advantages of group counseling, it can be really helpful for people that are really having difficulties maybe adjusting to the social aspect of college life, making connections with people. If they're only a person that they know here on campus, it can be really good for people dealing with low self-esteem or issues or symptoms of social anxiety, because it can really allow them to receive really allow them to receive constructive feedback in a safe and hopefully non-judgmental environment.
My job is to work with students on campus who are interested in making changes or decreasing their drug or alcohol use. Students come to me through the courts, the dean's office, and on their own. There might be a small fee associated with students coming into the dean's or the court's office, but the majority of students come in on their own. And all you need to do to make an appointment is call the front desk, set up an appointment, and you'll have the initial session, which will last about 45 minutes. I'll ask you a bunch of questions about your drug and alcohol use history, family, school, and how things are going, and get a general sense of how things are going for you and what the goals are and changes you'd like to see happen, and then we'll build a plan from there.
A stress clinic is one of our many free services where students can come in and maybe have something that might supplement potential counseling that they might be seeking, or discussing an issue like conquering procrastination, managing anxiety symptoms through things like guided imagery or muscle relaxation, or maybe things along the lines of improving your relationships.
I help students connect with on-campus services, including student health services, financial aid, and any other service that they'd like to connect to help make sure that they're aware that there are these resources for them, and to help coordinate the staff who are working with them. They might need rent assistance or utility assistance, food, shelter, clothing, some items that aren't necessarily available on campus. I can link you to some of those social services providers, including the United Way and other county-wide initiatives.
One of the things that makes the counseling center a safe place is that we have a very strict policy about confidentiality that's primarily governed by our state laws that prevent us from talking about what students share with us with anyone without their written permission. There are a few exceptions to those, but those generally have to do with the safety of the person that we're meeting with or someone else in their life.